Well, heck my life. Today's nightmare is to continue on where I left off. From last time I learned that organization is very big part of programming and video game making. Sadly video editing too. My goal for today is simple. To move, spawn, and destroy enemies. Simple, right? Well, let me tell you a story. Once I opened Unity. I was going to check on my masterpiece, my scripts. And once I opened them, I got flashbacks from last time. At this point my PC was making noises like he was screwing himself. And he definitely was. After brief familiarization, an idea popped in my mind, so I deleted every line of code that I ever wrote in here. And after that dirty work was done, I have got awesome idea to start something. It all started with my smartass asking Google for help. How to spawn enemies in Unity 3D. And I actually found some really good tutorial on how to instantiate enemies in Unity. Which means create or spawn enemies. So I basically copy-pasted everything from our boy Jimmy Vegas and didn't even give it a single thought. Maybe this time everything will go well and my lazy ass won't need to shred a sweat. But as you can see, shit started happening and everything was flying around. However, nothing crashed or freezed. Except my love for life. By the way, I didn't even see those errors until the end. They gave me painful time, but it is on me why I wasted so much time on them. Anyhow, my brain damage somehow failed, and I made code for enemy movement much simpler. And when I was done with one enemy, I started writing to spawn some more. With a little bit of confidence gained, I thought maybe I could write spawn script. It was disaster, but this time much slower disaster. However, I tried fixing it. But in the end sabotaged everything and couldn't figure out what the hell I was doing. Maybe there was problem with destroy object function. Which definitely was, but in my case, I was the real problem. As stupid I can be. I kind of solved it. So there was some improvement on this case. Everything was spawning nicely. Finally everything was going fine, but then destroy function destroyed my next 2 hours of my life. I literally couldn't figure out how to destroy a freaking object. So my brilliant idea would be to make a collider and set it on trigger. Which isn't bad idea at all. But for someone who doesn't know what the hell they are doing, it really became a problem. I even managed to make script messier. And instead of making one clone of the enemy, it was producing a clone out of clone, out of clone, out of clone, out of clone, and out of clone, and so on. After this misfortune, I was screwing with the code even more. And somehow managed to cause ejaculation of clones. And look, now clones were making clones out of clones of clones. Somehow it didn't froze to death my PC, like last time. But this time, it was very satisfying to watch. Not because I'm a genius, but a fool without a brain. Lol. At the end of my 2 hours wasted disappointment, I came to conclusion that maybe I should make new destroy object script instead of making a mess into one. So I can have organizable mess in 2 scripts and not one big cluster dump in one. Even though that was good idea, I forgot about that script for another 10 minutes. So there I was, again, writing something new into the first original script that in the end was the same thing as last thing. More clones, clones out of clones, clones out of clones out of clones, and fireworks of clones. But at the end of those 2 hours of wasted disappointment, I finally managed to write something understandable. Something to get a D and pass toddlers programming test. And those sinful obstacles were finally becoming destroyed when reached their destination. Which was unfortunately -15 at transform.position z-axis. One guy saved me from total mental breakdown. Well, a YouTube channel, Renaissance Coders. Thank you, dude, so much. Even though I didn't care about your lifetime stuff. I just needed few lines of code, and that's it. Look at it, I made it so much simpler and easier to read. For brain damaged wood trunk, that is me. As